Have you ever wondered how some people naturally earn respect when they speak, while others struggle to make their words count? The secret lies in how you express yourself. In this video, we'll explore how Stoic philosophy can teach us the power of speech, guiding us to speak with integrity, clarity, and authority, so others respect not just our words, but our character. Speak with calm and composure. Embrace Stoic equanimity. One of the core principles of Stoic philosophy is equanimity, or maintaining a calm and balanced mind regardless of external circumstances. Stoics believe that while we cannot control the actions of others, we can always control how we respond to them. When you speak with calmness, it reflects your inner peace and stability, which naturally commands respect. In everyday life, we often encounter situations that can trigger emotional reactions, whether it's a heated argument, stressful discussions, or even unsolicited criticism. The key is to stay grounded. By remaining composed and not reacting impulsively, you project an image of strength and control. This inner calmness shows others that you are in charge of your emotions, rather than letting your emotions dictate your actions. For example, if someone challenges you or speaks disrespectfully, instead of raising your voice or reacting with anger, a Stoic approach would be to pause, take a deep breath, and respond thoughtfully. This gives you the opportunity to choose your words wisely, ensuring your message is clear and respectful rather than impulsive and reactive. The ability to maintain composure during difficult situations demonstrates emotional intelligence and shows that you are unshaken by external forces. By speaking with calm and composure, you're not only ensuring that you're in control of your emotions, but you also show respect for the conversation and the people involved. It's a sign of strength to remain poised when others might be agitated, and it naturally elevates your presence and authority in any interaction. The Stoics believed that true power lies in controlling what is within us, not reacting to the external chaos. This approach doesn't just earn respect from others, it also helps you maintain your own inner peace, regardless of the storm around you. Choose your words wisely, living by the Stoic principle of prudence. In Stoic philosophy, prudence, or wisdom, is one of the four cardinal virtues, and it emphasizes the importance of sound judgment and careful decision-making. When it comes to speaking, this means being deliberate with your words and ensuring that what you say reflects your thoughts and values. Stoicism teaches us to avoid speaking impulsively or using empty words, as this can lead to confusion, misunderstandings, and loss of respect. Choosing your words wisely goes beyond just avoiding mistakes. It's about speaking with clarity, purpose, and intention. When you take the time to think before you speak, you ensure that your words carry weight and meaning, rather than being thrown out casually or carelessly. Stoics believed in using their words to express their values, not to please others or seek approval. This means saying only what is necessary and truthful, nothing more, nothing less. For example, when discussing a sensitive issue, a Stoic would carefully consider the best way to present their thoughts, ensuring that their message is not only clear, but also respectful. By avoiding unnecessary embellishments, sarcasm, or emotional outbursts, you keep your speech grounded in truth, which earns the respect of others. People appreciate when others are direct, concise, and honest, without resorting to unnecessary fluff or exaggerations. Furthermore, the Stoic practice of self-reflection plays a key role in this. Before speaking, a Stoic would take a moment to consider if what they are about to say is necessary, truthful, and beneficial. If it's not, they would choose silence instead. This principle aligns with the Stoic belief that we should only speak when our words serve a greater purpose, whether it's to share knowledge, offer wisdom, or foster understanding. By speaking wisely, you project not only intelligence, but also a sense of integrity and self-respect. When people see that your words are measured, thoughtful, and aligned with your values, they are more likely to respect you and take your words seriously. The Stoic approach teaches us that the quality of our speech is a direct reflection of the quality of our inner lives. By choosing our words with care, we demonstrate a commitment to wisdom and respect, both for ourselves and for those we interact with. Listen more than you speak. Practice active listening, as the Stoics did. In Stoic philosophy, the value of listening is just as important as speaking. In fact, the Stoics often emphasize that silence and listening are essential to cultivating wisdom and understanding. By listening more than you speak, you not only show respect for others, but you also give yourself the opportunity to learn and reflect, which in turn strengthens your own character and presence. The Stoics believed that our thoughts and actions are shaped by our perceptions, and in order to perceive things clearly, we must listen carefully to those around us. Active listening is a core principle here. It means being fully present in the moment, paying attention, and absorbing the words, feelings, and thoughts of the other person without immediately preparing your response. When you listen with intention, you show others that you value what they have to say, which naturally earns their respect. In a world where everyone is often more focused on what they want to say next rather than what the other person is saying, taking the time to truly listen sets you apart. People notice when you give them your undivided attention. Instead of rushing to interrupt or offer your own opinion, a Stoic listener would remain calm and attentive, considering the other person's words carefully before responding. Stoicism teaches that understanding others' perspectives is an essential part of wisdom. By listening more and speaking less, you gain a deeper understanding of different viewpoints, which allows you to respond more thoughtfully and respectfully. This approach helps you avoid misunderstandings and reduces unnecessary conflicts because you are fully aware of the other person's position before offering your own. Moreover, listening attentively can also help you manage emotions in conversations. By staying silent and focused, you give yourself the space to control any emotional reactions that might arise, allowing you to respond with clarity rather than emotion. This form of self-control is highly respected and helps build your credibility as a thoughtful and wise individual. By practicing active listening, you foster meaningful dialogue and relationships based on respect and mutual understanding. As the Stoics believed, wisdom is not just about speaking. It's about knowing when to listen and truly understanding the people you engage with. This makes you a more effective communicator and a person others will respect for your deep thoughtfulness and ability to consider others before speaking.
As Officer Mark continues to observe the suspicious car, his intuition tells him that this is more than just a simple parking issue. Moments later, a figure emerges from the crowd, a person dressed in dark clothing, walking swiftly toward the vehicle. Mark's eyes narrow as the individual glances around before entering the car and quickly driving off. The car's erratic movement confirms his suspicions. This isn't a random mistake. It's something more. Mark immediately springs into action. Without hesitation, he radios for backup, requesting a unit to assist in stopping the car. His heart beats faster, but his mind remains clear. It's not just about the car, it's about ensuring the safety of everyone in the area. The streets are still packed with people, some distracted, others too caught up in the festivities to notice the danger that's just around the corner. He follows the car at a safe distance, eyes trained on every movement. The vehicle weaves through traffic, almost as if trying to evade detection. Officer Mark knows that something isn't right. The driver is trying to flee, and it's up to him to make sure they don't endanger anyone else. As the car approaches a busy intersection, Officer Mark signals for backup to block the road. A few seconds later, another police unit arrives and pulls up ahead of the vehicle, stopping it in its tracks. The driver attempts to make a break for it, but the officers are ready. With precision and teamwork, they quickly surround the car and safely apprehend the suspect. In a matter of moments, the situation is diffused. The suspect is arrested without incident, and the crowd remains oblivious to the near danger they were moments away from facing. Officer Mark watches as the suspect is escorted into the back of a squad car. His heart slows, and a deep sigh of relief escapes his lips. Another crisis averted. For Officer Mark, this moment serves as a reminder of why he does what he does. It's not about the recognition or the accolades, it's about ensuring the safety of his community. On a night filled with celebration, it's his vigilance that makes the difference. While everyone else was focused on the joy of the new year, he was there to keep them safe. As the situation is resolved and the suspect is safely taken into custody, the city's pulse continues to beat with excitement. Officer Mark stands for a moment, watching as the streets slowly return to their festive rhythm. The music, the laughter, the sounds of fireworks in the distance. all remind him of what this night is truly about. New beginnings, shared joy, and the promise of a better year ahead. The crowd, unaware of the danger they almost faced, continues to celebrate as if nothing had happened. Families gather around. Children laugh and cheer as fireworks light up the sky. In the distance, the familiar chime of a clock rings, signaling that the final minutes of the year are upon them. Mark takes a moment to look up at the sky, his gaze softening as the first fireworks burst into the night. The light shows reflect in his eyes, symbolizing the new year's hope and possibilities. For a brief moment, the weight of the night lifts, and he lets himself feel the joy that the rest of the world is experiencing. But his job is far from over. The radio crackles, bringing him back to the present, reminding him that while the celebrations may be going on, there's always more work to be done. He pulls himself together, ready to continue his patrol, knowing that even the smallest actions can make the biggest difference. As the night stretches on, Officer Mark continues his patrol, keeping an eye on the festivities, ensuring that everyone gets to enjoy the night safely. His watchful presence is a quiet reassurance for the community, knowing that even in the midst of celebration, someone is always looking out for them. As the night unfolds and the final moments of the year approach, Officer Mark finds a quiet moment to reflect. The streets are still bustling with activity, but for a brief instant, he allows himself to take a step back and think about the year gone by. He thinks about the countless calls he's responded to, the people he's helped, and the challenges he's faced. The dangers, the risks, and the moments of uncertainty, it's all part of the job. But it's also about the small victories, the ones that go unnoticed by many, yet make all the difference to those he's sworn to protect. Mark's thoughts turn to his own family, and what this night means to them. His shift isn't over, but he knows they'll be waiting for him when it's done. They, too, understand the sacrifices that come with his job, and while they're celebrating in their own way, he's here, ensuring others can do the same safely. The year ahead holds new challenges, new opportunities, and new moments of both joy and hardship. But Officer Mark isn't afraid. He's been through it all before, and he knows that no matter what, he'll keep going, keep serving, and keep making a difference in the lives of the people who depend on him. As midnight approaches, the anticipation in the air becomes almost electric. The countdown has begun. Thousands of people on the streets, in their homes, and in bars and clubs around the city are ready to ring in the new year. Laughter fills the air, and the excitement is contagious. Mark can hear the countdown echoing in the distance from every direction. With just seconds left on the clock, Mark pulls his patrol car to a stop in a quieter corner of the city. He steps out, the cold air hitting him as he gazes up at the sky, watching the fireworks begin to light up the dark canvas above. And in that fleeting moment, he is reminded of why he does what he does. The city, the community, the families, it's all for them. The lights, the cheers, the sense of unity that comes with a new year, a fresh start, a new chapter. As the clock strikes midnight, Officer Mark stands still, letting the sounds of celebration wash over him. For a brief moment, the world pauses. And then he's back to work, his role as protector never stopping, even when the festivities do. As the first moments of the new year unfold, the city erupts in cheers. People embrace, kiss, and toast to the promise of the year ahead. For some, it's a new start, a chance to leave the past behind and look forward to what lies ahead. But for Officer Mark, the new year means continuing his journey, the journey of keeping people safe, of being there when it matters most. It's a job that never ends, but it's one that he does with pride. As the celebrations continue around him, Mark knows that this year will bring its own challenges, but he's ready. With the dawn of a new year, he steps into it with a renewed sense of purpose and a quiet commitment to his community. For Officer Mark, every day is a chance to make a difference. And as the streets of the city calm down and the fireworks fade into the distance, he knows that the true celebration of this new year is the work he does every day to ensure the safety and happiness of those around him. As the night comes to a close, the streets begin to quiet down. The laughter and chatter fade into the background, and the last remnants of the celebration are swept away by the morning light. Officer Mark drives through the now empty streets, the weight of the night's events settling in. He takes a deep breath, knowing that, once again, he's done his part to make sure that the city stayed safe. The work isn't always easy, and the risks are real. But moments like these, when the community can come together to celebrate a new year with joy and hope, make it all worth it. As he drives home, Mark thinks about the families, the friends, and the strangers he helped keep safe tonight. He knows that his work doesn't just end with the stroke of midnight, it continues every day, every moment. Because, in the end, that's what he's here for. To protect, to serve, and to ensure that every new year can be filled with the kind of hope and celebration it truly deserves. And with that thought, as the dawn of a new year breaks, Officer Mark prepares for the next chapter, knowing that, no matter the challenges ahead, his commitment to the community will never change.
Speak the truth with integrity, the Stoic virtue of honesty. For the Stoics, honesty is a cornerstone of living a virtuous life. They believe that our words should align with the truth, no matter how difficult or uncomfortable it may be. When you speak with integrity, you show others that you are trustworthy, consistent, and guided by principles rather than convenience or fear. Honesty doesn't mean being blunt or rude. Instead, it means conveying your thoughts in a way that is both truthful and respectful. The Stoics emphasized that words should never be used to deceive, manipulate, or serve selfish ends. When your words are rooted in truth, they carry weight and inspire confidence in others. People respect those who stand by their principles, even in situations where dishonesty might seem easier or more beneficial. For example, if you're asked for feedback on a sensitive topic, a Stoic approach would be to offer your honest opinion while being considerate of the other person's feelings. This balance of truth and empathy demonstrates not only integrity, but also emotional intelligence. Being truthful, even when it's hard, shows courage and earns you long-term respect because people will know they can rely on you to be genuine and fair. The Stoics also warned against the dangers of exaggeration or overpromising. Adding unnecessary embellishments or making false claims may momentarily win approval, but it undermines your credibility in the long run. A Stoic speaker ensures that their words reflect reality, no more and no less. Living with honesty also means admitting when you're wrong. The Stoics saw humility as a strength, not a weakness. Acknowledging your mistakes and speaking openly about them shows that you value truth over pride. This level of self-awareness and commitment to integrity fosters deeper trust and respect from those around you. By speaking the truth with integrity, you align your words with your values, demonstrating strength of character and moral courage. In a world where dishonesty is often used as a shortcut, sticking to the truth sets you apart as someone worthy of admiration and respect. As the Stoics would say, honesty is not just a choice. It's a reflection of the virtuous life you strive to lead. Avoid reacting emotionally. Stoic control of emotions. One of the core teachings of Stoicism is the ability to control your emotions and not let them dictate your actions or words. The Stoics believe that emotional outbursts are a sign of a lack of inner control, and they often lead to regret and damaged relationships. When you avoid reacting emotionally, especially during tense or challenging conversations, you project strength, stability, and self-mastery, qualities that naturally earn respect. In moments of conflict or disagreement, it's easy to let anger, frustration, or impatience take over. However, the Stoics teach us to pause and reflect before responding. This pause creates a crucial space for rational thought, allowing you to choose your words with care and avoid saying something you might regret. Emotional reactions often cloud judgment, but a measured and composed response reflects wisdom and self-awareness. For instance, if someone criticizes you unfairly or provokes you, a Stoic response would be to remain calm, acknowledge their perspective without hostility, and respond in a way that addresses the issue without escalating it. By staying composed, you demonstrate that you are not easily shaken or influenced by negativity, which naturally commands respect and diffuses tension. The Stoics also emphasized that our emotions are not caused by external events, but by our interpretation of them. This means that you have the power to control how you perceive and respond to any situation. When you master this mindset, you become less reactive and more proactive in your communication, focusing on solutions rather than conflicts. By avoiding emotional reactions, you show others that you value thoughtful dialogue over impulsive arguments. This not only strengthens your relationships, but also establishes you as a person of integrity and self-discipline. The ability to stay calm under pressure is a rare and respected trait that sets you apart in both personal and professional interactions. As the Stoics would say, true power lies in controlling yourself, not others. By mastering your emotions, you ensure that your words are guided by reason and wisdom, making you a speaker whose voice carries authority and earns respect in any situation. Stay focused on what you can control. The Stoic dichotomy of control. One of the most profound principles in Stoicism is the dichotomy of control, the idea that we should focus on what is within our control and let go of what is not. When applied to communication, this means speaking with intention and clarity without worrying about how others might respond. You cannot control how people interpret your words, but you can control how thoughtfully and respectfully you express yourself. This mindset fosters confidence and respect. Many people become overly concerned about winning approval, avoiding criticism, or trying to persuade others at all costs. However, a Stoic speaker recognizes that these outcomes are outside their control. Instead, they focus on ensuring their message is delivered clearly, calmly, and aligned with their values. This clarity of purpose often earns more respect than trying to cater to others' expectations. For example, in a heated debate, instead of attempting to change the other person's mind at all costs, a Stoic would prioritize expressing their viewpoint logically and calmly, knowing that the outcome of the discussion is beyond their control. This approach keeps the conversation productive and avoids unnecessary frustration or conflict. By concentrating on what you can control, your tone, your choice of words, and your demeanor, you also free yourself from the anxiety of seeking validation. When people sense that you are not desperate for their approval, but are instead focused on clear, meaningful communication, they are more likely to respect your presence and perspective. This principle also applies to dealing with negative or toxic individuals. If someone responds rudely or dismissively, a Stoic would maintain their composure and continue to act respectfully, knowing that their own actions and words are the only things within their power. This emotional resilience demonstrates maturity and strength. By staying focused on what you can control, you ensure that your communication is both intentional and authentic. The Stoic approach of letting go of what's outside your influence helps you remain confident, calm, and respected in any interaction. It's a reminder that while you cannot dictate how others react, you can always control how you present yourself, and that alone can have a powerful impact. Speak with purpose, not to impress. Stoic value of simplicity. The Stoics placed great emphasis on purposeful action, and this extends to speech as well. They believed that words should serve a clear purpose, whether to inform, resolve, or inspire, not to show off or seek validation. Speaking simply and with intention reflects humility and confidence, qualities that naturally earn respect. In today's world, it's easy to fall into the trap of overcomplicating your language or using fancy words to appear more intelligent or impressive. However, the Stoics taught that true wisdom lies in clarity and simplicity. When you focus on communicating your ideas clearly and directly, people are more likely to listen and value what you say. For example, instead of speaking to prove how much you know, speak to ensure that your message is understood. This is not about dumbing down your ideas, but about removing unnecessary complexity. A Stoic speaker values substance over style, ensuring their words add meaning to the conversation rather than creating confusion. Speaking with purpose also means avoiding unnecessary chatter. The Stoics warned against the dangers of idle talk, as it often leads to misunderstandings or wasted time. By choosing your words carefully and speaking only when you have something meaningful to contribute, you demonstrate discipline and respect for others' time and attention. This approach fosters a sense of reliability and authority. When people see that you speak only when it matters and that your words carry weight, they are more likely to take you seriously. It also prevents you from being perceived as someone who talks excessively or without direction. By speaking with purpose, you align your communication with the Stoic principle of living intentionally. This not only enhances the quality of your interactions, but also builds your reputation as someone who values clarity, respect, and meaningful dialogue, earning you respect and trust in the process. Accept criticism with grace, Stoic resilience to external opinions. A key teaching in Stoicism is the understanding that other people's opinions or criticisms do not define you. The Stoics believed that what matters is not what others say, but how you choose to respond. By accepting criticism with grace and composure, you demonstrate emotional resilience and maturity, earning the respect of those around you. When faced with criticism, it's natural to feel defensive or hurt. However, the Stoics encouraged separating the critique from your sense of self-worth. Ask yourself, is there truth in the criticism? If so, take it as an opportunity to grow. If not, let it go, knowing that it does not diminish your character. By reacting calmly, instead of emotionally, you show strength and confidence. For instance, if someone critiques your idea during a meeting, instead of reacting defensively, you might say, "Thank you for your feedback. Let me think about it further." This response reflects humility and a willingness to learn while maintaining control over your emotions. It shifts the focus from confrontation to collaboration, which garners respect from colleagues or peers. The Stoics also remind us that criticism often says more about the critic than about you. People may criticize out of envy, misunderstanding, or their own insecurities. Recognizing this can help you remain detached and not take their words personally. Gracefully accepting criticism also means not retaliating with anger or sarcasm. Instead, respond with kindness or, when appropriate, silence. By refusing to engage in negativity, you maintain your dignity and command respect through your composure. In practicing this Stoic principle, you become less reactive and more reflective. Over time, this resilience builds your reputation as someone who is not only confident but also open to growth and self-improvement. Accepting criticism with grace shows that you prioritize wisdom over ego, a trait that will always be admired and respected. 9. Be consistent in your actions and words, the Stoic virtue of integrity. The Stoics taught that integrity is the foundation of a respected life. Consistency between your words and actions demonstrates reliability and builds trust. When people see that you consistently live by your principles, they are more likely to respect you and value your opinions. It's easy to say one thing and do another, but this inconsistency erodes credibility. For example, if you advocate for honesty but are caught in a lie, it undermines your entire message. The Stoics believed that true wisdom comes from living according to your values, not just talking about them. If you consistently embody the virtues you preach, such as honesty, kindness, and courage, your words will carry far greater weight. Consistency also applies to how you treat others. If you treat everyone with respect, regardless of their status or behavior, people will recognize your fairness and integrity. The Stoics valued equality and believed that every person deserved dignity. When your actions align with these values, it creates a lasting impression. This principle is particularly important during challenging times. The way you respond under pressure reveals your true character. If you remain calm, composed, and true to your principles, people will see you as a person of strength and integrity, even in adversity. For instance, if someone insults you, instead of retaliating, a Stoic response would be to rise above the negativity and maintain your composure. This consistency in behavior earns admiration and respect. Being consistent doesn't mean being rigid. It means having a clear set of values and ensuring that your actions reflect them. If you make a mistake, acknowledge it and take steps to improve. Admitting faults while remaining committed to growth only reinforces your credibility. By aligning your actions with your words, you embody the Stoic ideal of integrity. People will respect you not because of what you say, but because of how consistently you live your values. This consistency is the foundation of trust and admiration in any relationship or interaction. 10. Practice active listening, Stoic virtue of empathy. The Stoics emphasized the importance of listening more than speaking. They believed that true wisdom comes from understanding others, and active listening is a crucial part of that. When you genuinely listen to others, you show respect for their perspective and create an environment where meaningful dialogue can flourish. This practice earns you respect because people feel valued and understood in your presence. Active listening is not just about hearing the words someone says, but understanding their intent, emotions, and perspective. Instead of formulating your response while the other person is speaking, focus entirely on their words. The Stoic principle of mindfulness encourages you to be present in the moment, free from distractions or judgments, which enhances your ability to listen deeply. For example, if a colleague is sharing a concern, don't interrupt or dismiss their feelings. Instead, nod to show you're engaged, paraphrase their points to confirm your understanding, and respond thoughtfully. This approach demonstrates that you value their input, even if you don't necessarily agree. People are more likely to respect you when they see that you prioritize understanding over simply proving your point. The Stoics also taught the importance of silence as a tool for wisdom. By speaking less and listening more, you gain insight into others' motivations and thought processes. This makes your responses more informed and impactful, further enhancing your credibility. Active listening also helps in managing conflicts. When people feel heard, they are less likely to become defensive, and discussions remain productive. For example, in a heated argument, calmly listening to the other person's viewpoint can de-escalate tension and lead to a more respectful exchange. By practicing active listening, you embody the Stoic virtues of patience, empathy, and mindfulness. This not only strengthens your relationships, but also establishes you as someone who values others' voices, a quality that naturally garners respect and admiration. Speak like a Stoic. Earn respect naturally. Incorporating Stoic principles into how you communicate transforms your interactions into meaningful, respectful exchanges. Stoicism teaches us to focus on clarity, purpose, emotional control, and integrity, making every word we speak intentional and impactful. By mastering these timeless values, you cultivate a presence that commands respect without demanding it. Remember, respect is not about dominating others or being the loudest in the room. It's about leading by example, listening actively, and maintaining consistency between your words and actions. Whether it's staying calm under criticism, speaking with purpose, or treating others with fairness, Stoicism empowers you to rise above the noise and earn admiration through character, not performance. When you embody these principles, your words become a reflection of your wisdom and self-mastery. In every interaction, you leave behind a lasting impression, not just as a speaker, but as a person of integrity and thoughtfulness. As the Stoics would say, the key to respect lies in living virtuously and speaking wisely.